To achieve an industry standard product, I looked on search for existing horror posters, which stood out for me for inspiration and to get an idea of how the structure of my poster and how to follow codes and conventions of movie posters. I'll be comparing both my poster and Final Destination poster together and show how successful I was in following codes and conventions. Moving on to Final Destination, the black background with the shattered blue glass effect does not really give away what the film could potentially be about. The horror skullhead may be the protagonist, which is out to get the people in the film. By looking at this poster, I would be confused as to what it will be about, but that is a good thing about it because people would want to find out what the poster means by watching the film. Moving on to my poster, I decided to do a similar approach by having a medium shot and a close-up of the character's face. I also decided to do a broken glass effect. The lighting is dark and there is more to the image than just what we see. The poster is eye-catching. It is very similar to the Final Destination poster as well. The main image is far from similar to the Final Destination image on the film poster. The similarities are that in Final Destination poster, the image is placed in the center of the page with the skull's head and with its mouth opened. I also made sure I placed my image in the center of the page. This followed codes and conventions of horror posters because the images are always placed in the middle of the page because that is the first thing they would want audiences to notice. I also got inspiration from the broken glass effect from Final Destination poster. The use of the broken glass shows how unstable and crazy the main character may be because of what she is seeing, which are the cult members, and no one can see them. This links in with the genre psychological of how messed up and psychotic she is to other people. However, other people may interpret it differently. To make my poster appear like a psychological genre, I decided to have two images which are very dark, and both images show the main character without no eyes. When editing this image on Final Cut Pro and placing it on my poster, I did not see that the Final Destination image also had no eyes, which could show how dark the character is. The main image is wearing a white dress, which suggests purity. However, people would argue that she should wear a black outfit to show her negative character. However, whilst watching some trailers, I saw that some of the protagonists were wearing the colour white, and this made them appear scarier. All these factors helped me to follow codes and conventions of a psychological horror poster when it came to the image and how I was going to portray it to audiences. Following codes and conventions, I placed my tagline above the image saying "Only God can save her." This is similar to where Final Destination placed their tagline as well. Normally, taglines have 4 to 5 words, which basically should sum up what the film could be about, or something about the main characters in the film. I decided to do a tagline which would get audiences thinking and wondering what I meant by that quote, and this would make them eager to go and watch the trailer, which was my initial plan. The same goes with the Final Destination tagline. They use 3 simple words, and the word pieces links in with the idea of having a shattered glass effect, which has been broken into pieces. I have followed the codes and conventions again by placing the title of the film at the bottom of the page above all the credits. Final Destination has also placed their title in the same place. I made my film title the biggest text on my page, and this is so it would be the next thing which stands out to audience after they see the main image. This is a typical convention because every film poster makes sure that their text is huge and readable for short-sighted audiences. The font is in the color white to keep the color scheme consistent, and I made sure that the color white I used would be much whiter than the color of the dress of what the main image is wearing. I made sure to include my release date so audiences who want to watch it would know the release date of the film. Final Destination placed the release date at the bottom of the page below the credits. I followed codes and conventions by placing mine at the bottom with all the credits and the production company logos. I decided to have it in the color white because it is readable and it will stand out clearly with a black background. Place my credits at the bottom of the poster, so has Final Destination. The credits are just an acknowledgement of all the people who were a part of the trailer in the making. There is a certain order of how credits are supposed to go, and I have researched it and I followed that order and put in the name of the people who are part of the trailer. I added the director's name, the production companies, and so on, and that is exactly what Final Destination has done. Following codes and conventions, I placed the website www.save.co.uk at the bottom of the page below all the credits. Final Destination also placed their website link at the bottom of the page in the credits section. It is vital to include the website link so that audiences will be able to know more about the film Saved. And I have realised that all film posters have the website link on the poster. Before making my film poster, it was essential for me to look at existing film posters and become much more familiar with the codes and conventions. This resulted to me creating a film poster which looked very creative and professional. I placed the two major studios which had an important role in making sure the trailer was a success at the bottom of the page below all the credits. The same thing is what Final Destination done. They placed the production logo near the bottom right edge of the poster. I also placed the British age rating at the bottom of the page, which clearly says a 15. This is vital because audiences would want to know if they are in the right age category to watch this film. Final Destination has the same thing, but they have the American version of it, which cannot be seen properly, but it will be seen at the beginning of the trailer. I have also added coming soon on the bottom of the page, which existing film posters normally have, and Facebook and Twitter links where they could find out more about the film and if there are any competitions they could enter. When it came to creating a horror magazine front cover, just like what I did to create my poster, I searched existing horror posters and saw if I could get any inspiration from some of them. I did not want to copy the name of an existing magazine, so I decided to come up with a name which related to death and a name which sounds like a horror magazine would be called. I also came across two magazine covers which students made, which I thought looked as good as the real magazine, and I managed to receive a lot of inspiration from both magazine covers. In order for products to have a professional look, conventions are vital because that would be the foundation and platform for me when I began to create my magazine front cover. The continued use of conventions could be the reason why my product looked creative and was successful. The first convention I followed was the convention of having a main image. I followed the Blacklist magazine cover, which was created by a student. I also searched in depth more Fangoria magazine covers, and I realized that the main image is placed in the middle, and sometimes it is a medium or close-up of the image. Before taking pictures of the main image, I applied scary makeup on her face, but applying black face paint around her eyes so it looks like she has no eyes, and applying white face paint throughout her face and adding powder so it would blend in more. The main image is the medium shot of one of the cult members and her looking directly into the camera lens. Some magazine covers have the main person looking somewhere else to make it look realistic, but I decided to go for a shot of her looking towards the audience. One important convention I followed is ensuring that I had a big and bold masthead that I placed at the top of the page. All the magazine covers which gave me inspiration placed all their mastheads in the same section, which is at the top. All magazine covers do that so that auditors would be able to clearly see the name of the magazine. I created my masthead on Photoshop. I decided to put a grungy background as the colour for the text. The text looked nice and dirty, which I liked, and I thought that a grungy, dirty background would look nice on it. The colour of the background of the text is gold. Gold is a colour which stands out a lot and is not usually used for magazine covers. I followed the conventions of having cover lines on the right side of the page. Most magazines place important information on the right side of the page because when people are about to flick the page, they may see something that they like on that side. I've done the same thing by placing my cover lines on the right side of the page so my audiences would read it. The cover lines colours are different yet effective. It still follows the colour scheme of the whole page and the text is readable for all audiences. Following both Fangoria and other two magazine covers, which was created by students, I decided to have something which looked like a film reel. Instead of having a film reel, I decided to place various posters diagonally with a gold border around it. Fangoria placed the images on the left side of the page, just like how I did in my magazine cover. I follow conventions by having a main cover line in the middle of the page. What my main cover line is advertising is different to what other magazines advertise. I decided to engage audiences by allowing them to enter into a competition to meet the stars of the film saved. This would catch audiences' eyes because they would want to know and want to meet the stars, so this is an opportunity for them to do so. I placed the website right under the masthead. A lot of magazine covers normally place the website link under the masthead or above the masthead. The Fanatic magazine cover has followed codes and conventions. The Fanatic magazine cover has followed codes and conventions just like what I have done. I decided to include a selling line at the top of the page. My selling line is not what a typical magazine cover would say. I decided to just have two words which relate to my magazine cover. The font of my selling line is the same font as the masthead, and to make it much more creative, I added gold skulls heads in the middle of each word. The colour of the text is white, which stands out boldly. on one of the words of the cellulite, I put a yellow spattered effect over it just to make it stand out. I also follow codes of conventions by including the price, which I placed on the opposite side of the website link. The text is readable and not too big. I decided to place the UK and the US price because my magazine would be sold in America as well. To keep the colour scheme consistent, I used the colour white. This is very important to follow codes and conventions of horror magazine covers because it determines if my own magazine cover would be successful or not.